Mariam,
Hello.
thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I think everybody's excited. Your fans must be waiting. You've been Instagramming them. They've been asking amazing questions.
I'm excited. I'm excited to talk.
Yeah?
I feel like I have so much I want to get at now.
So you've been saying, like, yeah, you want to talk, you're excited about this. So
Yeah.
I will leave it up to you. What do you want to start?
I don't generally go too deep in with anything on my social media. I tried to before. I used to share a lot more of my life when I first started out, I guess. But I feel like it backfired on me so many times.
Why?
I'm generally like a real open book. Like even
Okay.
with my friends, I'm not a secretive person at all. So like if I'm doing anything in my life, everyone knows about it. Like I'm so happy to talk about it. I share everything. I'm not.
You don't hide
I don't
it.
hold anything back
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, yeah.
So I was the same way on like my social media. Like everything I was doing, it was like everything was out there for everyone to see. And then, you know, like through the course of like the past 5 years or whatever, so many things that I would talk about would like backfire on me, and people would come back and they would create other stories from what I would have said. And, you know, I just got so much like headache out of it. So I'm like, you know what? I see so many people on social media. They live all these like crazy lives. They do all these things, but they keep it so secretive, and it works for them. So maybe I need to learn to be a little bit like that as well. So, you know, I changed things up a little bit, and then, you know.
I mean, obviously, like, as somebody who's a celebrity in Dubai, you know, it's just the gossip will come after you,
I
no
know.
matter what you do.
Yeah.
If you're a celebrity anywhere in the world, the gossip will
know.
come after you, no
Yeah.
matter what you do. But what are you going to do? Are you going to live a sheltered life? Or
Exactly right. So this is something that took a long time for me to kind of, you know, understand
Yeah.
and like grasp this kind of concept of, listen, people are going to talk about you regardless. Like,
Yeah.
in any given group, every time like I go out, like there could be one of the sweetest girls ever. You have a handful of people talking badly about her just because of jealousy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So after some time, I'm like, you know what? Like if the skies opened up and I grew wings and I came flying down, people are still going to find something to say about me. So I might as well live my life. And I do that, right? I'm not saying I hold back in any sense in my life.
But what did you change?
I just don't share as much. One
Okay.
of the main things, for example, is let's say if I was in a relationship right now, I would no longer share that.
Okay.
You know, like I would never do that again because that was something that.
You don't share your personal life. You don't share, like...
Not personal. Like I wouldn't show. I don't like showing my family. I don't like showing like if I did have a partner. These kind of things. I have like a whole handful of like really close friends that are like not even on social media that people don't know about.
Yeah.
I show my social media friends because that's their life, but. The others, no. I'm just learned to become a little bit more.
I like that. I completely agree with you, because if you show your private life and you show what you do, then what's like, you don't feel like you have anything for you. You don't have
That's
anything
right.
private. You don't
That's
have
right.
like, you feel like you're just
Completely, yeah.
Yeah. So not to hide that, but just to have your private life. Like as you said, if you're dating somebody, that's just between you and that person. If you're going out with your family, that's a family time. Not everything has to be for the media.
Yeah, and also I've become like, I guess, a little bit like superstitious as well as I've gotten older. So I'm like, I don't want to
Okay.
get AIM. I don't believe in it. Like
You do?
Honestly, like I remember, like even like with anything, like I would put some like a really happy moment, like press post, boom, something happens. I'm like, AIM. You know?
Yeah. That's hard, because if you believe in that, but you still post really nice pictures on your Instagram.
Yeah,
Do you freak out when you
I
post a
do,
nice picture?
I do. I'm like constantly like with the bukhur. And I was like,
Are you serious?
I do. I completely do that. I love it.
Okay, Mariam, I would like to know, how did you start?
So, okay, this isn't ever, honestly, obviously, like anything that I would have ever thought that I would be doing professionally or would be my life.
Okay.
I started this as actually like a bit of a game, like a competition, with me and my ex. We just started it trying to see who's going to get more followers, like
Okay.
completely as a joke, right?
Okay.
Like, and it was so stupid. Like we're talking about like hundreds or thousands of followers, and we would go into like random people. Like we'd be sitting in a restaurant, like, follow me, and he'd be like, no, follow me, and I'd be like, they're like, what is this app? Instagram. You need to download it and follow me. And so back then it was just Facebook. No one knew what Instagram was. Like literally.
Okay.
And then, so we started it, and then, so I think we just had like a really interesting story. I feel like if you want to make it on Instagram, you just have to have an interesting story or be like good at something. Like, so I always say this, Instagram is like a magazine, like, right? So when people wake up in the morning, they want to like read their magazine, and it's depending on whatever they're interested in, right? So there's people that are interested in art, music, history, I don't know, photography, makeup, fashion, whatever it is, right? So if you kind of go into that and you do it really well, people are going to want to follow you for that story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we were just like traveling together, and it was so something so normal for us. Like we were just posting photos together, and then people would be coming going, "What is this? Oh my God, astaghfirullah, what's going on?" Some people loved us, some people hated us, but still it was just so controversial. And then so people would like follow our journey and follow like everywhere. We travel a lot. I still really love traveling. And then we broke up, and there was a whole nother big boom like of what happened and all this. And then I just continued with it.
Did you change the way you were, like your brand? Was it a brand by then? Did you change the way you're posting? I mean, now it became Mariam Broad as influencer, as a...
I guess, yeah, before, at the beginning, it was more like just really candid shots.
Okay.
It was just like, because we didn't think anyone's seeing them, you know, just us and our friends and whatever. But our accounts were open.
Yeah.
And then it was just like candid shots of wherever we were. And
it's
then,
like a personal blog.
Yeah, and then afterwards, you know, as the followers were increasing, you know, so brands approached me, and then so I had to change it up a little bit.
Okay.
To be more like going towards the brands and more like marketing aspect.
And since then, it just became like a brand. Like it's all about the fashion, it's all about the makeup. It's all...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to so much go into anything specific.
Okay.
Like I don't want to be known as the makeup girl, the fashion girl. It's just me. Do you know what I mean? Like things that I genuinely love. Like I genuinely love makeup. Like I really love makeup. It's not just something I do just for the gram. Like I really love makeup. I love art in general. I love traveling, and I mean, fashion is fashion. I mean, it's just so like, you know, your own personal taste. If people like it, then cool. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just more a lifestyle thing. So it's everything together.
Okay. So apart from let's say Instagram is your day business. Is that correct?
Not
term?
really. No.
Okay.
I mean, Instagram is amazing. And, you know, in terms of a business, it pays really well. I'm sure everyone knows that. But, you know, like I never wanted to be the Instagram person. I never wanted to be it's just my character. You know, like even from a really young age when people used to ask me, like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to know that I want to be my own boss.
Okay.
Like I just want to be a self-made boss lady. Like that's all I knew from when I was really little. So, I mean, Instagram is there, but there's so many things, other things that I do, and so many other things that I want to do. And even from like 6 months ago, my idea of what I want to do for the rest of my life has completely changed again.
Like to what?
That's a really long conversation.
That's what I'm trying to get to, by the way. I'm waiting for you to talk about that.
I'll touch
Because when I said
that
Instagram is day business, I was going to ask you, is there anything else like that you're not showing on Instagram that you're doing? I mean Instagram is a day business.
I think so. So my goal was to basically have 7 different incomes, right?
Okay.
So this is a thing of billionaires. They all have 7 different incomes, and for a long time,
7 different channels of income.
Okay. So not all eggs in one basket. You have 7 different channels of income. So currently, I'm at around 4.
Okay.
Okay. So it's quite easy for me to get to 7. So, and I'm talking things even like, you know, investing in stocks, you know, real estate, you know, having different businesses. I had the clothing stuff, the clothing store, which I'm now taking online. I work with Bouticat. I work with the clinic, which we have a chain of. So there's all of this.
Okay.
And that was my goal. And it still is my goal. But as from the summer till now, it's all kind of like changed, right? So
what changed?
So I was telling you before about I've had these awakenings in my life. I call them my awakenings. This is my third, okay? So my first awakening, I think, was when I was around 20 years old. Okay, I was living in Australia, Sydney. And, you know, one day I was I was on the bus, and we stopped at a station, and I just saw a queue of people just standing there waiting for their bus. This is at like 6:30 maybe in the morning. And I just looked at them and I'm like, oh my God, they all look like robots to me, right? And then I just stopped for a second and I could picture my whole entire life, right?
Doing that.
So, you know, like in my culture and the way I've been raised, you have like this life that you're supposed to conform by, right? So you go to high school, you finish, you go to university, you finish, you get a job, you meet a guy, you get married, you have 3 kids, and then you work part-time, and then you basically live your life paying off a mortgage or, you know, just waiting to be able to travel maybe to Thailand or to Bali once a year if you're lucky, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I literally like saw my life like in front of me. I'm like, if I don't do something about this, this will be my life because this is what's supposed to happen, right?
The Matrix.
Exactly. So I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. Just because everyone says this is the life you're supposed to live doesn't mean I'm not a sheep. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it was so difficult. You don't understand. So my father's Kurdish, and he's the most amazing man on the face of this planet, but he's still hot-tempered, like
The old school mentality.
Old school mentality, like, you know, very.
Yeah.
So he was also like very strict growing up and stuff. So there was no way. I wasn't allowed to go to my friend's house, like let alone be able to go live abroad alone and live the life I live now. It's unheard of where I come from.
Okay.
And no one did it before me. No one has still done it. It's completely unheard of in my society.
So you're the black sheep of the family
Oh,
now?
black, green, purple, blue. I'm all the rainbows and some. Like,
Okay.
my parents, like, they just don't know where I came from. Like,
Okay.
like my sister's dentist, she's a doctor. My brother's an engineer, all married, kids.
So the
very
typical Iranian Kurdish.
very typical. Muhandis, you know.
Yeah.
So then, and then I had a friend of mine at the time who had a friend that was like living in Dubai, and she was like, you should go there and you should do all this. So then I convinced my parents, like, let me go there, let me just see how it is, blah, blah, blah.
That was which year?
That was 12 years ago. I don't know what year that was.
12 years ago, 2006.
Yes.
Okay. Quick math.
Very good, Father. And then, and then I came here and I was like, okay, like, let me stay for 1 month. And then 1 month turned to 3 months, 3 months turned to 6 months. And then I started working in real estate.
But sorry, what made you Dubai? Like, what made you come to Dubai?
So
How
I had
come?
a friend of mine
Yeah.
who had a friend that was living here. And she would constantly tell her this place is so amazing, blah, 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 blah. And then she traveled back to Sydney for a holiday.
Okay.
And she's like, just meet my friend, just see how she is, you know, speak to her. So I met up with her and she was like, it's just like the best place ever. And no one knew about Dubai. I remember being in Sydney and leaving to come here. They're like, where are you going? I'm like, Dubai. They're like, where's that? Like, no one knew where Dubai was. And then when I came here, and then soon after within like 6 months, I got into real estate. And back then it was like...
It was booming.
Completely booming. Everyone was making money. It was like this magical city of just everything's untouched. Like you could do anything. It was just a huge city of like opportunity. Whatever you're into, no one's doing it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So, I got into real estate. It worked out really well. It did so well before the crisis. And then soon after that, I got into clothing. So I used to wholesale clothing from Australia, bring it to Dubai, and then wholesale it from here out, mostly to Iran back then.
Okay.
And it was super successful. I used to do so well. Like, I didn't have to do any market, nothing. I had these buyers that would come over from Iran that had stores in Iran, and they would just come directly wholesale from me and take it back. So I used to do that for a few years, and then I got robbed by my maid. So at the time when the buyers used to come, they used to basically buy everything in boxes, pack it, money, leave.
Okay.
So
Your maid stole that one.
I hired a new maid. She'd been in my house for 1 week. And then I basically went out one night and then I came home and
Nothing.
she'd escaped from the back door. She'd taken, like, when I tell you everything,
Everything.
she took everything.
Ah.
Everything. I'm talking like, it wasn't even the money that really hurt me. It was like small things, like my mom had given me like a necklace when I was really young. And I don't even know why it wasn't on me that day, because I used to wear it every single day. It was like my protection. But that was like one of the biggest blows I ever had in my life.
God. So you went back to zero?
I went -0.
Oh, man.
I went to -0, and the worst part of it is that I couldn't go to anyone. I couldn't call up my father or my mother and be like, listen, this happened. Because they would say, get on the next plane and get your butt back home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
okay, you like this has happened, you know, Bedesha, whatever.
Yeah.
Come home. So I wasn't ready. I was like, you know what? I have all these things in my head. I have all these goals that I have in my mind. I'm not going to go back home with photos.
Yeah.
For like the past 4 or 5 years of me being here. It's just, I'm not going to do that. And I knew that was going to be the outcome. And they didn't even know. So, what's up, Mom and Dad? Like,
They still don't know the story.
They don't know.
Oh, my God.
I hope they never watch this. It was really tough.
Oh, wow.
It was really tough. I'll tell you that. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, your life is so great. I'm like, you guys have no idea what I've been through here. You know, and I don't have any family here. I don't have anyone here. So
you're by yourself.
I was completely alone.
So where'd you come with the strong mentality that you overcame these things? Like, how did you come over this thing, let alone the other things? So this
you know,
thing.
For me, like, at the end of the day,
and you were young. You mean like
I was young.
Yeah,
I was young. I was very young.
It's the first experience.
And I was alone.
You made money.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
I was making good money, and I was like, you know, living the good life. Blah blah blah.
Start dreaming about the future, and suddenly, boom,
it was
out.
like literally right at the beginning of everything, just like going up.
Yeah.
And it was going so well. I was like every day, like praying, thank you, God. Oh my God, this is amazing. Boom.
You're out.
Like in 1 hour,
Everything
literally
changed.
like, my whole life changed. And I remember it was just...
Did you get depressed? Did you...
Completely. I was extremely miserable for a long time. Like, honestly, it wasn't easy because it didn't come easy. I worked really hard. Do you know what I mean?
That's what everybody should know. Nothing come easy.
It didn't come easy. It really didn't. I was working so hard, and I was doing everything on my own. I didn't have friends around. I didn't have anyone around me to help, you know? Like, when you're at home, you have at least your mother to help you do something. Like, I was completely alone, you know? It was a huge blow, but at the end of the day, like, it's not like I'm religious. I'm a very spiritual person, you know. I have a big belief in God, and I have a big belief in, like, everything happening for a reason. I believe that we all have, like, something set for us, but we need strength before we get there, right?
True.
So God makes us strong before he gives us what we want.
True.
So I was like, you know what? Everything is from God. It's meant to be. It's maybe a learning curve for me. It's something for me that I need to grow in my life. Mm-hmm. And as long as I'm alive, I have my health, alhamdulillah, right? Like, I have, like, my parents, I have everything, I have beautiful family, I have everything, you know, like, I can make it back. So I called my older brother. Without going into too much detail with him, I was like, listen, I'm stuck with work a little bit. Get me my ticket back. So he got me my ticket home. I went home, and then my parents were like, what are you doing here? I surprised them.
Did you go back home as in that's it?
No.
Okay.
No. I just knew that I just needed my family's energy with me, you know?
Okay.
So I went home, and I stayed home for about 3 months. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to, like, do this all again. I can do it. I know I can do it. I got money again from my older brother. I borrowed some money from him, and I was like, you know what? I went and rebought a whole set of stock. Came back here. But when I came back here, I just couldn't do it. Like, my heart just wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't. I don't know. So, so then somehow I left that. Yeah. And then all this stuff ended up coming about. Like, soon after that.
Yeah, the Instagram and the Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the first or second awakening?
So that's my first awakening. So my first awakening was just like waking up and realizing that I don't need to conform to society's rules.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was the first one. The second awakening was basically about 4 years ago, three and a half, 4 years ago.
Okay.
When I initially became a vegan. Okay. So it was something that like was interesting to me for a long time, but I was the biggest meat lover of all time. And I used to eat I used to think it was healthy, but it was really unhealthy. So here's something that a lot of people don't know about me. When I was about 17, I went down to like 46 kilos.
That's nothing.
So I was basically like stick
Really
and
skinny.
bones.
Yeah.
And then I basically like, I don't know, I went on like this crazy like diet. I researched so much into food that I basically put myself on like to this meal plan.
When you were 17?
When I was 17,
Okay.
but I educated myself a lot on food. So right now I know a lot about nutrition, and I know a lot about the biology like of like the human body and the way like you know, food like processes in your body and all this kind of stuff. I know a lot about it, more than I should.
Okay. So you don't think keto is the way? Because
No, definitely not.
Why not?
Definitely not.
I'm a big keto supporter.
It's horrible.
Why?
I don't
Horrible.
believe in diets. I'll tell you that. I don't believe in any
But
kind
keto is
of
not a diet, it's just a way
It's a
of
diet.
eating.
It's definitely not a way of eating. I don't believe you should label anything. I feel like when you educate yourself on food and what it's supposed to do in your body, and not just for losing weight, then you end up living this long-term healthy lifestyle, and you end up looking good and feeling good and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but with keto, you're not doing much, just no carbs, no sugar, and you're good.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you should not have carbs. I could personally never live without carbs. Personally. No sugar, yes.
Yeah.
But everything I feel like you should substitute for. But no carbs, this is not a way of life. Because when you stop, you're going to end up going like on some binge
But
eating.
why do you have to stop?
Because this is human nature.
If you don't stop, and if you just like enjoy your steaks every day and you enjoy your salads, so what's the issue?
I'm like, whoa,
I mean, you're Iranian Kurdish, so I understand you love carbs, but I mean,
no.
yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you, Iranian Kurdish, they love carbs and meats.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything that they eat has meat in it and
has
carbs, obviously.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll go back to this, right?
Okay.
So I used to be this like unhealthy eater. I used to like drink 1.5 liters of like Diet Coke a day, obsessed with Diet Coke, right?
That's after 17 or before
This
17?
is after. So this is
Okay.
once I got off my diet
Okay.
and went back to what I thought was regular eating. So up until I was like 26, 27, I was drinking literally like 1.5 liters, 2 liters of Diet
that a
Coke
year ago?
every day. 6 months.
Okay.
Just my last one. So you made me lose thing now. Come on. What was I say?
So you went to that regular
Okay,
diet.
so I was eating really unhealthy,
Yeah.
and I was huge meat lover, blah, blah, blah. And I had all these friends that were like vegetarian, right? So I was like, oh, how could you like not eat meat? Like, what's
Yeah.
wrong with these
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I would sit there and be like, why are you doing this? What's wrong with you? Da, da, da. And they kept explaining to me. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So then I was in LA, and then one of my friends made this documentary, as you know.
What is it called again?
Unity.
Okay.
So Unity doesn't speak just about animals. It speaks about everything in life. So the main message is, why does something need to be harmed in order for humans to gain? Right? So it talks about like just human nature in general, just eating meat, religion,
Yeah.
harming others, all this kind of stuff. So once I watched that, I was like, why are we eating animals? Like I didn't understand it. I was like, you know what? Just because we've had meat put in front of us since we're born, it doesn't mean it's okay. Like in some cultures, they eat dogs. Does that mean it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
For me, completely not. For them, definitely. Right? So why is it that we don't think about what we're doing? We're not even thinking about what we're putting inside of our bodies. Right? And these are like our temples that are going to carry us until we die. Why are we not more conscious about what we're putting inside of it? So then I started like really thinking about what I was like eating. So then I started again researching into food, and I found out about all like this alkaline and acidic kind of diets. So meat is one of the most acidic things that you can put into your body. And when your body is in an acidic state, all the bad things happen. Cancer grows, diseases, you get sick, you look bad, you're tired, your immune system, everything is bad when your body is in an acidic state, right? So the number one worst thing that puts your body in an acidic state, the first one is artificial sugar.
Okay.
So Diet Coke, diet, everything. After that, it's meat, alcohol, and regular sugar.
Okay.
So I just completely changed my diet overnight. I just completely stopped eating all this stuff. I went full vegan at first, and then my doctor was like, "Don't do that. Your body's going to go into a bit of a shock. Like introduce it in." So I started having fish and seafood.
Because you need that protein.
You don't actually. You get much more protein from Greek. I'll tell you something really funny after this.
Okay.
But, okay. So you get it from all your beans and vegetables and stuff. You can get all the protein that you need. All this other stuff, it's a complete myth. It's not real. So you don't need dairy for calcium. You don't need red meat for iron. Let me tell you something funny. Since I was 17, I became very anemic. Okay, so I used to take pills. And I get tested. I do full blood check every time I go back home to Australia. I've been anemic since I was basically 17.
How did that happen?
Because because when I lost so much weight, it just completely messed up my system and everything.
Okay.
So I was anemic. When I stopped eating meat, and I'm telling you, I used to be a huge meat lover, right?
Okay.
Huge. So 1 year after I stopped eating meat, I went and did my regular check back home. And my doctor's like, everything is perfect. There's just one thing that's not on the charts. He's like, your iron levels are too high.
When you stopped eating
When I stopped eating meat, after 1 year,
wow.
I was no longer anemic, and my iron was even higher than normal.
Okay, how did that happen?
Vegetables, love. I don't know.
Okay, so you stopped eating meat, you became vegan for a while.
I became vegan, and then now I'm almost like I'm vegan, so I don't have dairy.
Just fish.
I just have fish from time to time, and that's it.
And you're planning to stop that as well?
Not at the moment. I really don't have much sympathy for the fish, to be honest. Like, I have sympathy for all the animals. The fish, I'm just kind of like, maybe I will. I might have another awakening with the fish. You never know.
No, I mean, you should. You cannot just like, oh, no fish, but no meat, but fish is fine. How's that possible?
You know what it is? When I see flesh, it just looks like flesh. It looks like a carcass.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's a dead carcass. It's carcass and dead are the same thing, but it's a dead thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like bones and like veins, just like we do. What's the difference?
But we shouldn't approach fish at all if we go by your concept, because they're somewhere that we can't really get. You know what I mean? We have to get in back in the day and just spear fishing, and then now we have like new technologies, and we've developed that lines with the.
Yes.
I mean, so like we're not really supposed to approach them. They live in their world. We live in our world.
Oh, that's true.
So
maybe I'll become
we shouldn't
full
harm
vegan.
them. They're not expecting us to harm them, so you should stop it.
Will you stop eating meat,
No,
Mr. Keto?
I believe that.
Have you ever hung out with a cow? They're so cute and they're so smart. They're so conscious
if I was
of
in the
what's going
jungle,
on.
a lion would eat me. So that's the way of life. No. Somebody's gonna eat me. I'm gonna eat something.
Okay, so why don't you eat a dog or a cat?
Why do vegans eat flowers?
What?
It's the same thing. It's just a choice. They don't eat flowers. It's vegan.
What?
Just bring a flower or a rose and eat it. They won't do that.
Yeah, they do. We eat flowers. You don't eat flowers?
Flowers, I mean, like as in...
the ones, flowers. You eat flowers.
You make the bread from. Not the flowers. I'm saying roses and stuff.
Yeah, you can eat roses.
You can?
Of course you can.
I've never heard of eating roses.
Are you serious? Well, Persians put like roses in everything.
I mean, yeah, like that rose water and stuff.
No, like crushed roses on top of food.
But any rose?
The petal rose. Yeah, there's a lot of flowers you can eat, actually. I'm so glad I'm educating you. This is amazing. You know, one thing that still shocks me till now, like people like to live in a bubble. I'll be like, watch What the Health and you're going to stop eating eggs. No. I don't want to watch it because I know when I watch it, I'm going to stop eating eggs. So watch it. They're like, no, 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 I love eggs.
Yeah.
I know it's completely bad. Like, and I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I just don't want to open up my brain because I like being ignorant. Like, it's. I'm like, really?
It's a
like,
different kind of bubble.
People love
made
to
of
be
steel.
ignorant. I'm like, it's crazy
Yeah.
to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
wake up. But I mean, again, you can't judge. I feel like everyone has their awakenings at some point.
That's true.
When
That's
it's
true.
time for them, when their brain is like ready to accept it or their lives are ready. But
As I said, it's 2018. The world is too open. As you said, What the Health was on Netflix, and everybody has Netflix, so you can just easily go in, watch it, and make up your mind if you agree or disagree with it. If you want to go ahead and try to find other videos which they debunk it, which I agree with.
oh, Jesus, God. Seriously, ignorance.
But again, I'm saying it's not ignorance.
Is bliss,
I've
right?
seen it. I've seen the other videos. I'm saying I went all in to see.
You saw What the Hell?
Of course, I've seen it.
And you still eat eggs?
Well, the first month, I'm like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But then I was like, well, let me see if they debunked it, and let me see other doctors talking about it. And then I went in, and then that's what I realized: keto is the way of life.
Oh God.
Because you need fat in your life. You need this sugar and
You
carbs
can
thing
get
doesn't
fat,
work with me.
You can get fat from a lot of other things, right? So like things like omega-3 fats, avocados, sunflowers, all these kind of things. They have amazing fat that's good for you. I'm not saying don't live without fat.
But
you
need
have
that
to.
steak, you know what I mean? Like after I've lost 8 kilos, and I've felt great.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have. But just watch when you stop and you blow up and you come back to me like, Mariam, you were right.
See, I stopped doing keto right now, and I start losing more weight, and I'm just like, I stopped eating eggs a month ago.
Well, how's your cholesterol? How's your cholesterol?
See.
How
I'm
is
too
your
far in
cholesterol?
my researches that I would tell you these things are not true. Cholesterol
No, but how
levels.
is your cholesterol? I'm just
Last time I checked, it was a bit high,
Oh, a bit.
but that's not an indication of any threat. And I'll tell you why.
Because you're young.
No, it's not about that.
Continue for like 5 more years, and we'll see how your cholesterol is doing then.
What matters?
And your blood is all like clogged up, and you're having heart problems. God forbid.
God forbid.
God forbid. But that's what's going to happen if you keep up with your keto.
But I'll tell you something. So how you actually check if you have a healthy heart is by checking your rested heartbeats. So if it's like between 60 to 70.
But you're still young. I'm not talking about now. I'm
Yeah.
talking this accumulation of cholesterol over time.
I'm 38. What do you mean young?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, mashallah.
I look young because I'm on keto.
How long have you been on keto? Like 5 minutes?
I'm 28, yeah. So
Are you
pretty.
28? My God, I was going to say you look like you're about 35.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah, that's
Thank
why I said you look good for your age. You look 35, and now you're saying, are you really 28?
Yeah, I'm 28. I look
Get
older
off
than my
this
age.
keto right now, buddy.
Really? Come
You
on,
look
everybody
35.
says I look young. It's just the
They're
beard.
lying to you, I swear.
I'm going to zoom in right now. You can see my face. I don't have wrinkles. I have nothing. I look good for my age. Wait till you see me shaved. Then you're going to say, oh, you're 15 or something.
15, but
Keto is the way. So, Mariam, what else? What's happening with you next? So, are you going to be focused on business and focus on modeling and your brands?
not modeling. I'm not a model. Never
I mean,
been a
like,
model.
yeah. But what
You
do you
know-
call that? Okay, wait 1 second. Let's get the opinion of the people. So, we go to your Instagram page, and you see these pictures.
This is not modeling.
This is not modeling, but what do you call that?
This is, okay, go to the next photo.
Which one?
This is it. This is the place
Oh,
in
okay.
Africa. See? You see how human beings are like? You see this, you see that, and you completely miss that. You see?
Yeah, my bad.
And-
I'm not gonna give it. But I mean, like, look at it. It's in the middle, so it's very hard
Well,
to see.
this was when I was in Africa, so this is just all
I went like
together.
this, and then I went like this.
Did you? You know, I was like, this is so sad because, like, okay, just skim past this one.
You want
Just
this
go on top. Okay, so like 32,000 likes, and then go this one. Okay, 34, and then this one's like 14. You
Because
see what I mean?
Mariam, okay,
People are
Mariam,
just like,
I'll tell you, my bad, I missed it, but because people when they scroll in their story, right? I mean, when you go to the homepage, they don't know if that's you. They think it's like a random ad, a sponsored
yeah,
ad.
maybe you're right.
Because I can't see you. Wait,
I'm
let me
right
see. Oh yeah, you're there. See, like you had to look. It's like Finding Nemo.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, so I'm saying if you post more about this, because this takes the whole page. Like when you open your homepage and you see this,
wow.
like this, okay, and then you go here and you think it's just like a sponsored ad. You know, you get so many sponsored
I
ads.
understand you, yeah.
Post it again. I will. Okay, there you go.
Like and comment. Thank you so much.
So going back to the topic, what do you call this? This is not modeling.
No. So this is actually for this really sweet girl. She sent me this dress.
So you're modeling for this dress.
Not modeling.
I'm a guy. I don't know these terms. What do you call it?
The thing is, you have to kind of throw this kind of stuff in there in the long-term plan of things, right? To keep things interesting, right?
Okay.
So if you were to ask me what I personally like, this would not be it, right? But this is what people that follow me, this is what they like.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So I know what they like. So I have like this bigger vision of things. And for me to reach there, I need this. So yeah, so I need to throw this kind of stuff in there. But to be a model, no.
So like somebody sends you a dress and you wear it and you like, okay, for example, what's that?
No. No one sent me that. They was just like, I was just wearing it, and then the photographer's like, let's take a photo of it. Cool.
So you model for Instagram. I'm not saying you model for other people or something. You model for your page. Am I right? No, I don't get it.
Look,
Explain to me.
I'll tell you something. I feel like this word of like influencers. Okay. First of all, I feel like to be an influencer, you either have it or you don't. It's not something you can go and you can get into, right? So if you're an influencer from a younger age within your own group of friends, you influence them. You know when you're an influencer, right?
Okay.
You're the one sitting there and you know that like when you wear something, your other friends are going to be like, where'd you get that from? They also want to wear it. You know what? Where'd you get that lipstick from? Oh, who did your hair? You know before social media.
Yeah.
You know, you either have that influence and it's a character, right? But recently I watched this thing by, I forgot, was it that Chetty guy? No, I think it was another guy.
Chetty?
No, it's like one of these motivational speaker guys.
Tony Robbins?
No.
Okay.
I forgot what his name is. So he did this thing, I'm sure a lot of people have seen it, and he's saying, you know, there's a lot of people that call themselves influencers, but what are you influencing people to do?
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So when people come to your page, what are you influencing them for? Are you influencing them to go and want to purchase like the latest designer item, or are you influencing them to go and like reach these like unobtainable like beauty standards, or what is it that you're influencing people for? And I was like, oh my God, like this is also goes again with my third awakening. I was like, what am I doing? Like I'm just here trying to like, you know, market and promote all these like things that are so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and like I'm gonna get in so much trouble for saying this, but you know, there is certain things that I love and I will always love, and I could always do all the charity in the world, but I'm always gonna love makeup, for example, right? I'm always gonna love certain things, right? But now, do I go crazy with this kind of stuff? I wouldn't. Right? Because I feel like I've been awakened with all this kind of thing.
So it's very hard to, it's not very hard, it's just now you're in another level.
And
it's a different wavelength.
My brain is like in a completely like different place. So I just want to kind of take my social media into a place that when people come onto it, it's about, you know, influencing them to do better for this world, to give back, to help, to be nice, to, you know what I mean?
That is a very nice stage you're at. Like, I think now you're at that stage where you're just like...
Honestly, though, it's so hard to do it.
Huh?
It's really hard to do it, but I'm going to try.
I mean, everything is hard work. If you really want to give back to the world, it's going to be hard as well.
It's not about giving back. The giving back I will do. It's about getting people to want to kind of do the same, right? So there's people that are just going to hate you no matter what you do. Exactly. So I could go and be Mother Teresa and they're still going to be like, oh, she's X, she's Y, she's Z. It's fine, right? But that's the hard part, trying to show people it's genuine. You know what I mean? I just want people to just, I don't even care what they think about me. I just genuinely want them to come onto my page and want to be like, oh my God, that's a good idea. Should also go do this for charity, or I should go to my local place and give them blankets and pillows and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, I agree with what you're saying. Like, you don't want people to think it's ungenuine. You're doing it for other reasons. But when Angelina Jolie decided to do and just go all out, and I'm sure people thought like, oh, is she doing it for the media? Is she doing it for this? But at the end of the day, after so many years, you start feeling like, oh, she's doing it for the right reasons.
Exactly.
But it took a while.
It took a
while. And you cannot make everybody happy, as you said. If you want to make everybody happy, you should be an ice cream salesman. Otherwise, you're not going to make everybody happy no matter what you do. So just do it for yourself. I'm saying, at the end of the day, like, if you're happy and if you're making other people happy, that's it. If we're going to think about that million other people, we're not going to be able to sleep at night.
Exactly.
I mean, and it's the reality of human beings. Like, you could post something with South Africa, you could get, let's say, 100 comments, everybody saying, it's great, oh, well done. And that one guy's like, what are you doing? And then it's just that, what are you doing is going to be stuck in your head.
That's true.
It's just part of being a human being. And that's when you realize your psyche, when you realize how you think as a human being, when you get into psychology, you start filtering these things.
You know, honestly, though, this is another thing. I really wish that these people that come on and write like these really mean comments, like, I would just wish like they would wake up to themselves. You know, it's like, look, I'm happy. I say, alhamdulillah, I have health, I have my family, I have my friends. I live a really good life. Like, for you to come and write something under my page, I feel sorry for you. I'm like, how miserable are you that you're getting so angry over my page to see that people are showing me love, to see that people, to see that I'm happy, that I'm doing well. The fact that it's making you so angry says a lot about you as a person. Like, go and work on yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to affect me. Like, I'm not going to have any less because you're writing a bad comment. It takes 2 seconds to block and delete. You know what I mean? Like, I just want everyone to be like, if you're looking at someone's page and you're following someone, why are you following them in the first place? Right? Second of all, if you're looking at anything, you need to stop and think between yourself, why is this bothering me so much? Go and work on yourself, really. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, at this point, you're not used to it. You're just like...
Listen, if you honestly saw the things that I have been sent, the pages that have been made of me. Last night, I saw a page of me.
Like a fan page or just...
No, I love my fan pages. They're amazing. No, it was like one of these, like, someone has dedicated a whole page and she's gotten, like, photos of, like, maybe a photo shoot I did, like, 7 years ago and then put it, like, towards one now and going, oh, my God, look what she's done, surgery, this. First of all, if I was plastic from head to toe, what is it to you? Why does it bother you? If I'm okay, exactly. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If you like the way I look, go do the same thing. If you don't, then don't. You know what I mean? So then they taken. I'm talking like this person had taken time and effort.
That's just crazy. That is just proper
and
psycho.
I was like, oh my God, like, how angry are you? Like, how angry? Why am I making you so mad? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, because if you're not doing anything wrong to anybody, then just leave. Should just be left alone.
And I'm like, this is what I was telling you earlier as well. I was like, do you realize that, you know, there's different angles? Like I was telling you right now, it's not one of my best days. I'm tired, whatever. You have off days, you have bad angles, you have bad lighting, you have all sorts of things. I could take a photo of a supermodel and make it look horrible with bad lighting and bad angle. That's all I need. So, I don't know, people just...
People are going to, as we said, these people, I wouldn't understand, like, for example, if I don't agree with what you're doing, like, let's say I'm not into makeup, because I'm a guy, right? I'm not into makeup, I'm not into fashion, but I was interested to get to know you because I was interested in a person, how did you make it? How do you sustain it? What's life behind the scenes? That's like, I mean, you're a human being at the end of the day.
Exactly right.
I'm not really. I'm telling you, like, I'm not gonna be fake right now. I'm not into. Clearly, I'm not into makeup.
Of course, I mean, but listen, again, like I was saying, Instagram for me is like a magazine. Whatever it is that maybe I travel to places that you find interesting, right? I travel a lot. Maybe it's a lifestyle thing. Maybe it's like a magazine where you just like see like a pretty girl. I follow a lot of girls that don't do anything. They're just really pretty and I like to look at them, right? So it's like a magazine. I open it. I follow a lot of beauty, travel, health, fashion, lifestyle, whatever.
Yeah.
So if there is someone that's posting something that you don't like, it's so easy. Press one button,
Yeah.
white to blue,
Yeah.
and live your life.
Exactly.
End of story.
Like exactly, that's the part. Like I don't understand why do you have to hate somebody?
Yeah.
Like if you did plastic surgeries, what does that have to do with you? If you did plastic surgeries and you went and made fun of another person who made plastic surgeries,
Exactly.
then
Don't be a hypocrite.
go after
Exactly.
Mariam, and then you know what I mean, start
Yeah.
hating on her. But if Mariam's not just sitting there enjoying her life, doing her thing, what do you want from Mariam? Leave her alone.
And this is especially like for me, like me, I'm one of these people that I see beauty in all women. Like,
okay.
and my friends make fun of me. They're like, "Oh, we never ask your opinion because you think everyone's pretty." But I
But
genuinely.
why girls do that? Whenever you ask a girl, what do you think of another girl? What do you think of another girl? Like, oh, she's so beautiful. Like,
Oh,
all
no,
girls
that-
think their female
maybe
friends
they-
are beautiful.
No, they're friends.
So that's true,
I'll
right?
tell you something.
That's true.
Most girls,
Yeah.
if you sit within a group of girls, they'll be like, "Oh, what do you think about X?" "Oh, she's pretty,
Yeah.
but X, Y, and
Yeah,
Z."
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
guys, why X, Y, and Z? She's just pretty. End of
Exactly.
story, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, your opinion doesn't count. You think everyone's pretty,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I see genuine beauty in all women, all of them. So when people come back to me and they're like, "Oh, but you're this, but you're that," I'm like, did I ever say I'm perfect? I have a billion flaws. Like,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but are you perfect? Like, I'm saying you are beautiful. I'm not sitting there and looking at like the negatives of, "Oh no, but this eyelash is crooked towards
Yeah,
that way,
yeah,
so no,
yeah,
X on her." You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing just doesn't register in my head personally.
Yeah, it's just we're never going to be able to avoid that, and I think they need to close this place, so we have to wrap this up. We ran over time.
I
I lovely really talking to you.
Talk about. No, I'm joking.
No, really, actually, I tell that to my guests. You can come back anytime you want. We can still cover things, but we have to end this episode because
I'm sure we have a
the
whole
place
bunch
has
of
to shut down.
questions as well.
Yeah.
Let's check
Next
the
time.
Oh God.
We've
yeah.
done an hour.
Oh,
An hour
good.
and something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's lovely to talk to you.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Hopefully
having
come
me.
back time soon and
I will,
you tell me more
inshallah.
about that journey and dig deeper into that and find out
Inshallah,
more.
when I come back, I would have already gone and come back and I can
And you
tell
share
all
your
about it.
stories. I would like to hear all the stories.
That would be amazing.
Thank you, Mariam.
Thank
Thank you for coming on the
you.
show. Thank you.